Alright, so we're back on the Kawasaki Mojave 250. So this is the second video I made about this four-wheeler. The first video was me buying it and getting it running and working. In this video, we're going to be fixing some other issues we found. Mainly the axle bearings, swing arm bushings, shock absorber, chain roller, and chain slider. Basically rebuilding the whole rear end. Let's get started. So let me just go over how I know this is wrong. Of course, there's a lot of play. You can see the chain moving up and down. That's why the chain is loose, because those axle bearings are bad and the whole axle can move forward. If you look up at the swing arm, where those bushings are up there, you can see the whole swing arm moving. Pretty sure there's supposed to be cotter pins on these nuts. It looks like someone put anti-seize on these. That's nice. Thank you to the last guy. So get this dust cover off.
One hour later.
Alright, so this is the skid plate for the four-wheeler. Ordered this off eBay, of course. Clean it up, scuff it down, and then probably paint it. Then while I've got everything apart, I'm going to paint the rims silver again to match the front aluminum ones, and then paint the rear axle blue. All right, now I got both these seals out. Now there's a spacer in here that we can push to the side and then hit on that spacer and it'll pop the one bearing out. Then we can go through the other side and pop the other bearing out. We still have to get this bearing out. There's the old shock. Now the last thing to take off is this swing arm. Here's what the new ones look like. Yeah, these old ones are so worn out you can barely even see it there. All right, I got the swing arm bearings in with the little axles in there and then these spacers / seals. So let's put it on the bike now. Bam, no play in that now. So I got this carrier all cleaned up and I already installed the new bearings. One thing you can do to extend the life of these is pop these dust covers off the bearings. You can just use a little pick or a flat screwdriver, just make sure you don't damage or bend them, and then pack some wheel bearing grease in there. Now we can install the seals. I like to put a little bit of grease on the inside lip and then also on the inside. And you can install them with a seal installer like this, or just a bearing that fits on the outside. Alright, I got the coil over installed and the brake lines put back on. pretty simple. This new coilover came with the bike. It was the same dimensions. So now let's install the carrier bearing. Put a little bit of grease on here just to prevent it from sticking. No. Now we can install this hub and brake rotor. Put a little bit of anti-seize on here so that next time it has to come off, you don't have to cut it. And when you're installing that, be careful you don't roll the lip of that seal. I think we got it. I got this thread file from McMaster Car. And the way these work is you choose your thread pitch, which this one is 1.0. It's a metric. And then you just line it up in the threads there and back and forth. And that'll clean up those spots where I nicked it with the grinder. And a thread file's not as good as a die, but something this large and this fine of a thread, a die would be very expensive. Where this thread file, you get 8 different pitches for 15 bucks.
These red snips were mine, right?
Yes.
Here's your tools.
And some people are going to say to change the brake pads, but those have plenty of life on them. There's cotter pin holes in there, so I'll put those on. Torque it to spec. And we'll check on that after a couple rides. Next guy with that anti-seize. And then for this nut, remember how I ruined that castle nut? I got these on McMaster Car. These are distorted nuts, so you can see how it is not quite round. That's so it won't back off. Alright, that's not moving, and that hub is solid. So I changed out that chain roller there. Here's what's left of the old one. Throw this chain on. Alright, so we gotta take a little bit out of this chain. Alright, there's the new chain installed. The new one didn't come with any master link, so I had to reuse the old master link. Then I have it tensioned pretty good. That's gonna loosen up a little as the chain breaks in. And then I tighten down these nuts that lock it in place. Now we should be ready to put the wheels on. All right, it's back on its own 4 wheels. Now let's put that skid plate on. Alright, that'll protect that drain plug from getting smashed. Get the other battery. So that's my first real long ride with this four-wheeler, longish. Let's give everything a check. So my guide is still there. The chain's not touching the metal, but obviously the zip tie fell off. But I would say that's a success. It's still there. You saw I bottomed out on the rotor that one time. Lock nuts are still tight. Lug nuts are still tight. Still need to get that stud. That roller's still there. And I think it went pretty well. So this bike, this little 250, you're not winning any races, but you might be competitive in a race. It turned out pretty good. Could still do some more upgrades to it, like a skid plate under the rotor and sprocket. Could also paint that muffler, but that's not really a big deal. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one.